could never imagine that I would be stuck in Newcastle for as long as I am, indefinitely. This is Port Stephens area that I'm at, and I just thought I recorded a video and it didn't record. That's why I started panning from the view I've got. So it's a bit windy and I'm sitting in my Van Venus in the sun, protected from the wind. It's eased a little bit now, but I'm not a fan of winter. I had imagined that I would be, or I had planned that I would have gone to Darwin, headed up to the Sunshine Coast and across through Western Queensland and up to Darwin by now, somewhere up there on my way. But my mother, after she turned 90, has declined, and I'm unable to go away for more than a few days. So in Newcastle, I grew up here and left in like maybe 1982 or 3 for Sydney. That's my previous post, and wandered up and eventually ended up in Queensland because I love the warmth and the heat. So the idea of when I ended up living in a van, the idea is to not have winter. And I was here on and off last winter in Newcastle, but I could get away for a month every now and then. I'd have a month on, month off. Ending up with my Uluru outback trip for about 6 weeks in December, January. And I thought that after that I'd be heading off not long after Mum's birthday, but that wasn't to be. You never know what's going to happen in life. The Uluru trip was amazing. I didn't post much from that because of the wandering off I did, the Ks I did. I did thousands of kilometres. I had to get my an inverter replaced, and the only place I could do it along the way was at Port Augusta. So I had certain amount of time to get to, everyone says hi to me. I had a certain amount of time to get to Port Augusta. So I did like 300, 400 kilometres a day and had to kind of pace and plan where I was going. And I was having too much fun. I did record a lot of videos, but I haven't posted most of them because I got kind of busy when I got back. But I loved that trip. I really, really loved that trip. And Far North Queensland that I'm posting now. I've gone back to my socials from 2023 when I first started, actually still in my girlfriend's van then, in October. November I bought Venus, and she wasn't orange then. I got that afterwards. She was white. I don't even recognise her as being white anymore. It's quite funny. Far North Queensland and Uluru. I spent a week in Uluru, in the camping ground, caravan park thing. That's the longest I've been anywhere since. I left on Christmas Day. So that's a week is the longest I've stayed somewhere since. I move around several times a day, and sometimes I get sick of it. I would like to. I've been for a few days in caravan parks around here, but generally move around during the day 2, 3, 4 times, or go to the shops, or it's a very different life. But the thing with Newcastle, it's not my favourite place. It's really nice here at Port Stephens, and there are some nice parts of Newcastle that I've discovered, but I left there for a reason. I don't feel I'm from there at all. I just don't feel, it's just not my kind of place. Most of my relatives still live there, and they grew up and stayed there, but it's just not my kind of place, and it has changed so much since the 1980s when I left. And it's a city now, and people knock down houses and build up these big monstrosities, throw away all of the bricks and all the tiles. Everything just there's all these demolition companies that just 3 or 4 days later, or if it's a big house, it takes a bit longer, they just throw it all in the bin. They just throw away absolutely everything. It's so wrong. And there's some beautiful houses, the great ones that have been done up, houses that were around when I was growing up here. but it doesn't really resemble the place that I grew up in. And we spent a lot of time in the bush, going away for weekends, and I loved that. And it was a town, and now it's a city, but now it's a big city. So it's when I get to Mum's and get into her car, it's so much easier. I do a lot of my shopping and food shopping and things. I can't go to, I don't very often go to some shopping centres, but when I do, I was taking Mum's car. And to park, it's much easier. Everywhere is so crowded. There's a few places that I can get to easily, but most streets, particularly in Newcastle and the beaches kind of area, there's just nowhere to park unless you're by the beach. And it's not easy in a van this size, or in any van, just not where I want to be, but I'm here, and for as long as I need to be, and trying to make the most of the sun. This is the third sunny day we've had in about 2.5 weeks, maybe. Sunny and blue sky for the whole day. Yep, I think we've had 3 in about 15 or 20 days. The weather here is worse than I've encountered anywhere. It's pretty intense, and to me it's not natural, but I won't go there, because if you know, you know, but if you don't, you think that it's fine. But I know about frequency and weather engineering. But anyway, there's a magpie over there. There's some people sitting over on the bench. It's just beautiful. So yes, I was talking about coming back to Newcastle. So until 2020, I didn't come back very often. I would come back for when I had to, sort of thing, like for a birthday or Mother's Day and that kind of thing. And I would stay like 2 or 3 days, or just 1 day, depending on where I lived and what was going on. And I was really quite distant from my family. And if you've seen my social media, I'm very close to my family now, particularly my mum. Once her second husband passed 2 and a bit years ago. I've been calling her every day since then. But before 2020, I would talk once a week or once every week and a half or something. We really were not close, and I didn't know really anything about her life, or any of my step family or my cousins and stuff. I really didn't involve myself in their lives because I wasn't here. I was living my own life in other places, and ending up in Queensland, where I love. I'm grateful that my girlfriend Jackie went to my storage and got my heater out for me and sent it to me, and some winter clothes, some jumpers and jackets and thermal underwear, and to get me through. And I managed to rearrange it all, and it all kind of fits. I make sure I keep everything in Venus, because all my stuff just stays with me, and then I can fit everything. It's pretty full right now. And this is my sign that I did, although you'll see that backwards, or maybe you won't. Anyway, my sign that I did for my readings and my intuitive psychic tarot card readings, and I'm learning the ropes of the coaching that I'm going to be doing, empowering women or men, unafraid to be me, or you, unafraid to be you, unafraid to be yourself. That's the theme that kept coming up. So who knows, but I've got big plans for that, and I'm doing that in between taking my mum places. The video I did of her driving to her house went crazy on Instagram, and has now had about 30,000 views. Last time I looked, it was like 20,000. Never know why videos take off. And I'm enjoying posting the previous socials on that are coming up as shorts. And now I'm not sure whether I said that on this video or the one I did and realised all I did was take a photo, because I'd flipped the phone without checking, and I pressed the button and it changed to photo, and it took a photo of me, and I'd talked for a period of time. Anyway, that's how unprofessional I am. Hopefully soon I'll get more professional, and I'll add an email address. So if anybody does want a reading, I can add the. I can be contacted. It's held over Zoom, and a recording is sent to you, and I can be contacted on my social media, and I guess comments on YouTube. Why not? And I'll also put an email address as well. I don't have a website yet. I want to get professional photos done when I can actually get my hair fixed with my beautiful hairdresser on the Sunshine Coast, and I don't have any content for the website yet, so, and I'm not giving out my phone number. So, and here comes the wind again. Anyway, there's my little post for today. Much love, everyone.